Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got Weibo Gaming's Oliveira in the top left side of the map up against Team Liquid's Cure. It is, of course, the CLEM vs. the World show. Team Liquid here in the World Team League playoffs have been carried by CLEM so far. CLEM, the new world champion, is absolutely beast moding, but they, of course, are not the best team, Team Liquid. They regularly get top 8, but they've never won. They've never made it to the finals. And they're having a good run so far. Standing in their way is Weibo Gaming. In the next round, the winner of this will play against Basilisk. The winner of that match will play against Vitality to decide the season winners here of the World Team League. And oh my gosh, Cure is going to start off with a double proxy barracks. Now, for those who don't know, the way the format works for this, it says best of 7, but every 2 players play 2 games against each other. It is an all-kill style format. Now, the way this works is basically if you both win a map. Say Oliveira wins this map, Cure wins the next map. You both lose your life, and both teams have to sub in a new player, and the scoreboard would look like this afterwards, right? 1-1. Now, the reason that's important is if you get a 2-0, you don't score 2 points. Say Cure wins this game and the next game, it would be 1-0 for Team Liquid. You might think, well, what's the point in the second game? The point is you saved your life. So Cure stays in to play the next opponent from Weibo. So that's the whole point here, just to kind of give you guys an example of how the format works, since a lot of people get confused. So it's 2 players. The next 2 players, I believe, actually, yeah. So it is like that, yeah. So we're going to be seeing some really interesting matches now. Oh, Oliveira scouts it. Sorry, guys. I'm all over the place trying to keep up with this. I really want to set the stage when I start casting WTL, but we don't have time. We're going to talk about the strategies right now. Reaper's going to come in with the SCVs. Let's see what happens here. Reaper grenade goes down. That SCV is going to get targeted. Oh, okay, yeah. Cure gets 1 SCV kill. I think at this point, you give up on more damage. Try to protect your SCV. Pull back as Cure, because there's 2 bunkers. You're not going to get more damage, but what you've done is you forced the bunkers there. You just got another SCV that was trying to return home from scouting, and you just don't want to do anything else. You can even pause building Reapers if you want to save some gas. You can use your map control to build the command center on the natural. There's a lot of cool little cutesy things you can do. He's going to dive it! Okay, that's a dangerous move. He's going to sacrifice the Reapers for SCV kills. The SCVs should pull to the north to trap him. Ooh, Oliveira's a little slow on the pull. Oliveira did not trap them. The grenade is really nice, though. But look at the focus fire. Cure manages to target the Reaper down. So it's a Reaper for a Reaper. 2 Marines are there. These Reapers heavily damaged. Grenade does hit both of those Marines. Only for 5 damage, though. But a 3rd Reaper coming in. You're now separated from your bunkers. Oliveira massively screwing up by not pulling more SCVs. On the other hand, his Cyclone's out. So it's okay. But 5 SCVs going down. He has to double sell the bunkers and build a command center right now, or he's screwed. Oliveira, he's playing as if he's being all in still, but he's got to realize there's going to be a command center going down on location. Cure very slow to build that command center. He started at about 600 minerals, guys. I know you might think, what do you mean? I don't see 600 minerals. He queued that command center up from the main base and still had 100 minerals left over, which means by the time he got down there to actually build it, that was about a 25-second delay on that command center. Not perfect macro for Cure, but he's had a fantastic start nonetheless. Double Cyclones picking off the barracks. So we've got a moment here where Q is just going to kind of scout. The bunkers still haven't been sold. This is a big mistake for Oliveira, guys. Look at how delayed this command center is. It's started later than the opponents. Now, the standard thing off these openings, as those Reapers try to hop in and then leave, is that your command center starts earlier in Oliveira's shoes, but you can't take it. And because Q builds his on location, it ends up evening out. That's in an even position. But in this game, not only do you have the worker advantage already for Q, you've also got him building it on location, whereas Oliveira has to float it down, and it started 20-30 seconds faster. I mean, the advantages are stacking up. Now, here's Oliveira doing a really cute move that he's a big fan of. This is what we call the empty medevac scout. It works as a fake out because your opponent assumes there's units in a medevac every time they see it, and it can sometimes get them to do something silly. Now, the problem here for Oliveira is Cure will not overreact. Why? He just saw 2 Cyclones at home. So when he sees this medevac, he will realize there can't be 2 Cyclones in that medevac because timing-wise, it just makes no sense. 5 Reapers ready. Medevac's right there. Q stays calm. 5 Reapers can kill a Cyclone pretty quickly when it unloads. You've also got to realize Reapers don't have a projectile. So even if you were, say, to drop a Cyclone out of this, you can dodge like Marauder attacks, Stalker attacks, because you can dodge the projectile by picking up the unit while the projectiles are in midair. You can't do that against Reapers or Marines. Hit scan units, essentially, units where as soon as they fire their pistol, the damage is immediately dealt to the target. So that fancy medevac micro players are known for. Doesn't quite work out. Now, Oliveira has been a fantastic macro player in this matchup recently. He almost beat Maru in EWC, right? He looked so good over there. He actually had some amazing matches versus Oliveira versus Maru, Oliveira versus Beyond. I would say his weakness is he often fell behind in those matches. And we see it here again. And if there's one thing I can say is don't count Oliveira out. He's way behind, but he's made comebacks from this far behind multiple times against the likes of Beyond and Maru recently. And that really puts some respect on your name, right? On the other hand, Cure is arguably the best TVT player in the world right now. I would love to see a Cure versus CLEM match. Unfortunately, they're on the same team, and they did not run into each other over at the World Championship. But I actually think Cure, in terms of his openings and not falling behind regularly and stuff and not taking big unnecessary gambles, it's actually a bit more reliable than Maru right now. Obviously, Maru is always going to be more clutch than Cure when it comes to just making comebacks and finding ways to win, but look at this, just technical little harassments, grabbing a few SCVs, getting in, getting out, and maintaining a massive advantage. Third command center is finished. Orbital is morphing. Now, to be fair, Oliveira, he already has his third orbital up. He realizes he's got a turtle to try and get back in this game. Oh, look at that. If you waste a lock-on the medevac, nice hot pickups. Cure is going to get... Oh, okay, stayed a bit too long. He should have picked up and left earlier. He does bait 2 auto turrets out, so Oliveira loses a lot of his energy on the Raven. He also doesn't have interference matrix, so Oliveira can literally only use Ravens for auto turrets. 2 tank push coming. There's very few units to defend. This tank is in a very defensible position, but because you're not protecting your command center, he can just move up siege in range of your command center and really, really ruin you. 8 Marine drop moving across the map. Marine comes out, gets shot down. Cure with full map dominance. He's got double engineering bay on the way. They're coming up now on the right side of this natural. Second and third barracks are already up behind the natural as well. And Q is just happy to contain. 8 Marine drop for Oliveira. Going to come in. Does have stim, actually. Not too bad. Why are we fighting with these SCVs? Q, what are we doing, mate? Okay, Q are going for an insane decision there. Reapers jump in the back, though. They start to do damage. Auto turrets do defend them. Fighting with SCVs in the main may have been the silliest decision I've seen in a little while. Does it matter, though? No, it doesn't. Because look at that. Interference Matrix, Vikings land. I think Q realizes he's so far ahead. He's like, I just need to deal with that with the minimal possible APM at home. And he does that, right? He basically says, I'm going to lose 20 workers defending this. I want to show you guys this last sequence again. Because, like, on its own, this is a terrible move, moving the SCVs. But when you look at it now in the context of his decision-making, he's like, he's about to do an attack. He's like, I'm going to jump my Reapers in your main because I saw with the scan you're not covered. So I'm going to click those in the main. I'm going to bust the front with Interference Matrix tank. And I know I can kill you right now. I have more stuff. So even seeing this, you're like, I didn't expect this. I'm not ready for it. But you know what? A tank popping out plus an SCV line, they will deal with this. Will it be efficient? No. But I want to refocus my attention on the front. And this is a sort of trade-off decision, which in its own, not a perfect decision, but it's good enough because StarCraft is all about prioritization, right? So he trades the 20 workers and instead says, cool, we baited auto turrets and units out of position in the main. Those Reapers can go back in a little bit. We only take a single tank shot here, and there is just no way you're going to deal with this push. I mean, those SCVs get slaughtered. Auto turrets go down as well. Ravens are even falling to Cyclones. Vikings landed, and that's a lovely Game 1 victory for Cure off of the double Reaper opening. Really well done for him. And I guess one last bit of analysis here. How did he get so much damage when it was scouted? If you're SCV scout, you're meant to be fine against this. Right? So, arguably, this factory should have been built here. It's a really small thing, but if you think about it, he's never going to be able to jump in here because the bunker's like fully blocking it. You'd have to run straight past it. It's really awkward. This is the most exposed angle. If you build your factory here, so Reapers have to jump up and run a bit closer to the bunker, you're gonna do a lot more damage. I'll show you guys what I mean. This is where second depot can be built there as well. You can go like depot there, second factory there, and then he really can't get in. And I think when you're up against 2 racks Reaper proxy, it's really important to make sure they can't just run past. I also think pulling this SCV back, that SCV, if he was really on point, could have killed Cure's SCV and then hid somewhere on the map rather than just running through the Reapers and dying. So it's these tiny details, which a lot of people, they always talk about how StarCraft sucks as a game or it's so brutal because when people cheese you, if you make one mistake, you lose. I want to point out that here, even at this level, the best players in the world, Oliveira made a lot of mistakes this game. And it was only the stacking up of so many different little small, mistakes that led to him really losing this. Not pulling SCVs to the right to fully surround those Reapers as well. Not instant selling the bunkers once the Cyclone was out. This is a bit of a slow start for Oliveira. He's going to need to clean it up in game 2. All right, going into game 2, Weibo Gaming's Oliveira. Let's try and have a better start this time, my friend. So we go on to Amphion. Cure in the top left side. I thought he was going to go double proxy Marauder for a second when I saw those SCVs moving out, and I was like, oh my gosh, is he actually going to do this again? Cure uses that build so much, especially against Protoss in the biggest tournaments, and he's been doing it for like 3 years, and the amount of times it works and he wins games is actually silly. Now, to be fair, I think Hero shut it down when they played EWC. I can't remember. I think he did it versus Hero. I think he did it versus another Protoss player as well. Like the number of times Cure pulls that build out, it seems almost silly, but he does seem to pick it at the right time and always catch his opponents at least a little off guard. Double gas for Oliveira. Cure is going for a 1-Rax expand. Personally, I'm a massive fan of the double gas. I think it's a smoother opening more often than not that leads to, you know, the game flow being a bit simpler because you've got the faster factory, and early game TVT is all about the factory unit count and the starport unit count. Marines, things like that, Reapers, they're just there to kind of add a little bit of buffer, bit of hit points, bit of random damage in the mix. But it's having more Cyclones, more tanks, more Ravens that really decides early fights. So it's easier as a player who doesn't want to play too flexibly, you know, just a bit of a normie, to just go double gas. Whereas the way Q is playing, blind 1-Rax expand. Now, if you play really fantastically, I mean, this can put you way ahead because you get that faster command center. As long as you defend everything well, you can end up in a really good spot. The reason why I guess I would find it arguably questionable here is just because it's Amphion. And Amphion, you've got so much drop space. Look at all these shadows. Like, you're like, oh, well, you can build a depot here. Yeah, then you still can get dropped over here without getting spotted. Liberators, Banshees can come in from the edges. There's just so much dead space behind the back. So I would like to see Cure probably open up with an early Viking off of his starport. And that's something, that's the sort of little defensive adjustment players will often make when they go 1-Rax expand. Pig, have you seen these games yet? I'm not sure if you watch them personally and then cast. They're so good, though. This whole playoffs was great. Thank you, Denim's Chicken. I've heard they're great. No, I try not to spoil myself. There's a lot of tournaments I don't even look at the results. With this one, I did see which team ended up winning the overall season. So I know some of the stuff. I'm not completely spoiler free by any means, but I've purposely, you know, got my replays organized, labeled them without any spoilers for myself, so that hopefully I forget any of the details that I did glimpse when looking at the replays and stuff. And I've heard they're fantastic games. So I did not watch it because this ran till 3:30 a.m. The last few matches last night. It's been kind of that sort of schedule for the last 3 nights straight playing these playoffs. And thankfully, the lovely WTL admin sent me the replays, as well as to other content creators just a few hours ago, which would have been, actually, now that I think about it, did they send them to me at 4 a.m. China time? Guys, can we just, respect to the bloody WTL admins. I assume Saratobi and the other WTL admins live in China. I don't know if they do or not, but if they're out there organizing replay packs and sending them out at 4 a.m. just for the love of the international scene and everyone else, I mean, what a mad organization SC Boy is, and everyone over there running the World Team League. Thanks guys. All right, guys, double Cyclone drop for Oliveira is going to come out. He has not scouted. Cure has not scouted either.
Complete.
Have we got a Viking? No, Q is going to go Medevac himself. 2 Cyclone, Medevac, Marine. Okay, fair enough. I mean, the Cyclone Medevac is arguably just better than the Viking, right? Because it just allows you to move your Cyclones around super quickly, way faster than a Viking can. Marines exposed on the natural. Nice start here for Ollie. Gets 2 Marines, make it 3. But he's got to be careful. And, oh, he does get locked on. Oh, does he get a Cyclone kill, though? No, good pickup by Cure. Both sides taking a bunch of damage. Good idea to go back and repair when you're this damaged. And, of course, we'll see a repair there as well. Looks like there was a pause when they played this live. Interference Matrix and the Raven coming in as well. Marines and Cyclones. 3rd command center. What the? That is so early, guys. He's wow. I guess he built 3 Cyclones. So his tech lab's kind of late here anyway. And now, as long as he keeps putting Ravens and tanks nonstop from this moment, I think he should be fine. A couple of SCVs going to repair up those Cyclones and the Medevac. Interference Matrix for both sides. Now, the Raven is, of course, later for Cure. You can see that's his first Raven. As another pause comes in. Gosh, I hope they don't have too many lag issues, guys. because that would suck. Double Cyclone drop down the left. Plenty of units ready to respond. Shouldn't take any damage. Cure boosts in. Boosting in. Something I would never advise. Oh, actually, sorry, he didn't boost in. Never mind. Just looked like it was moving really fast for a second, but it was just the angle that I was at. Hot tip, guys. Unless you're going all in with a drop that just needs to kill them right then or you're dead, always save your boost for the evacuation. It's one of those things that turns players who always lose their drops into players who are much more successful with them. It's a good rule to live by. Okay, guys. So right now, remember that Cure is fighting to preserve his life so he can go into play against Weibo's next player, which will most likely be JieShi or Hero. On the other hand, Oliveira, he's already lost his life. If he wins this map, he can obviously knock Cure out as well. But Oliveira will definitely be subbed out by the next player on his team in the next round. Ooh, you can see the turret has to swivel to shoot the Cyclone. It's not instant, which is why Oliveira was able to drop the Cyclone and pick it up before the siege tank could actually shoot it. 3 barracks are here. Where's the double E bay? There we go. Double engineering bay. Doesn't quite have the gas for it just yet. Oh, wait, we're building Vikings instead of upgrades. Interesting. So Oliveira is going Viking tank production and reactors before making 1-1. So one could argue he mistimed the engineering bay timing. Double Cyclones coming in here. Oh, not going to be able to do too much. Yeah, good choice to just pick up there. Marine tank Raven on the right side. 3 Ravens, though, for Oliveira. More Marines for Cure. It's not going to matter too much just yet. 1-1 upgrades start at identical timings for both sides. 4th and 5th barracks a little quicker here for Cure, whereas it started about 20 seconds later for Ollie. Ollie is down in army supply technically, and down 4 workers. Even though he had some good little trades early, not enough to really make up for the 1-rax expand advantage. But the extra Raven energy, that's what gives him power right now. Marine over here on the right side. Notice Oliveira is being sparing with his scan usage. He's not wasting scans right now. I think Cure sees that army's bigger than his, and he's kind of posturing, but he shouldn't commit. I think if you can threaten with a smaller army, that's great, though. Oh, Cure, careful, mate. Loses himself a Cyclone on the left side. Great defense by Oliveira. Continuing to poke in is Cure. We should be seeing an armory on both sides. Notice, though, the difference in production, guys. It's Medivacs, right? We've got Medivacs building for Cure, whereas the Viking count's at 4, about to be 6. Oh, Medivac goes down. Nice play there. Viking should get out. He's going to send an 8 Marine drop down the left side of the map, but look, that Cyclone's moving. It might be able to spot this drop going down the left side. I think it might barely miss it, though. Armory's on the way for Oliveira. Cure hasn't started his yet. Siege goes up for Oliveira. I like that Q is posturing and keeping him kind of scared here, but look at this. I don't think Q sees it. I think that Medivac barely slipped down the left side. He does have spotting depots and turrets, though. Q realizing just how big drops are on this map. Oh my god, Cyclone's coming out. Okay. Careful, Ollie. Don't be throwing those units away. You're down 1 tank. You're down 5 Marines. The extra Raven's good. The Vikings will win the air fight. He's building his first 2 Medivacs now for healing. Marine drop inside the main base. Looks like he boosted right over the turret. So that Medivac not looking very healthy. He's going to take out a depot. Okay, kind of cool choice there. Changes targets to the SCVs as they are the highest value target. SCVs only 45 hit points, each one worth 50 minerals. 5 SCVs do go down. Not a bad drop so far at all. Oliveira's 4th command center goes down, but he hasn't started 2-2, +2 attack and 2 armor starting for Cure. And those upgrade delays definitely going to start to hurt Ollie the longer this game goes. Felt like he could have been way ahead on those upgrades. He chucks a beyond and starts +2 armor. Has not started +2 attack yet. Hopefully he notices in the near future. Tanks, Marines, Vikings, and Ravens here. You've got 5 Medivacs for Cure. And he's got 12 more Marines. So he's got a better Marine army. Oh my gosh, interference matrix is coming in. That's crazy. Anti-armor missile could be really big, but Oliveira just answers with his own interference matrices, and he shuts this army down. Oh, Cure. That looked like he studied that right out of the Pig playbook, guys. He had map control all game. The armies were near identical. He had a few more Marines, slightly less Ravens. But even though he interference matrixed a few of the tanks, a couple of tank volleys on his superior Marine count, plus defender's advantage, and Oliveira just shut that down. That was what I call a half-baked push. That was him going, oh, I think I can do some damage here. Intuitively felt some power, felt an opportunity, dove on it. It was a bad choice for Cure, and now Oliveira's looking to answer. Oliveira shoving here. 44 Marines. He's got a 5-tank advantage. That's the advantage. Not to mention the Raven Viking. He's got a 5-tank advantage and Viking Raven dominance. Viking Raven. Me speak good Inglando. Command center does go down over there as well. I think, honestly, Oliveira can just shove this. He's still got more interference matrices. He's going to anti-armor missile. Yeah, that's a power move. Oliveira says, look, you have -2 armor on all your Marines. I can just kill you now. But wait. Oh, he's going to go for it anyway. Interference matrix on every single tank, allowing him to get the forward siege up. Every SCV gets pulled off the line. Kua taking about as good of a fight as he could hope for, especially with his own reactive anti-armor missile and the SCV pool. But Kua will have to lose an entire worker line to get that done. The Vikings, if they land, he can win this fight. And the Vikings will indeed maintain this position. 20 workers go down, and of course, with a 4th command center up behind it, 5th one building, that should be a massive secure of the advantage. Oliveira starts his next 2 starports as well. I gotta say, Oliveira's left flank has looked mad open this whole time. He's even got a sensor tower here, but he doesn't have anything on the left side, no turrets or nothing. And it's almost a shame that Kua didn't use that heavier medevac style to do more drops, because if your opponent's more Viking Raven focused than you want to be more counterattack focused. You want to play a little bit more like a Zerg, but Kua taking that first ill-fated push over here really screwed him up. If you play the Marine medevac style and you headbutt into a bad fight, it feels like the style's terrible. Like, you start to question, why do I even play this style? This seems like a bad style. And it's like, no, you just took a really bad fight, mate. And I'm not saying this to be like, you know, I'm telling Kua off. I'm seeing so many of my own TVTs and how Kua has played this particular game. Marine stimming forward, take a few tank shots, good pullback. Double medevac Marine moving down that left side. Oh, the Viking turret there. This is their thing where you know your opponent has like left this little hole in the vision. So you're like, I know he's gonna drop there. Oh gosh, they're both just in vision. Who's gonna notice first? Who will notice first? Vikings have less vision than medevacs. Today I found out. I did not realize, guys, Vikings have less vision than medevacs. Oh my lord. Oh. You're lucky. You're lucky about that. I did not know Vikings have one less vision. Sight range in this game is something most players don't know, I would argue. I don't think that's just a me thing, right? Does anyone actually know the sight? I know Zerglings have very little, Overlords have very high. Ooh. Yeah, that was a very risky move. Moving to the right there in sensor tower vision. Kua gets spotted, gets a drop shot down. Command center in the bottom right side as well. +3 weapons once again a bit late, but that's because, of course, +2 attack finished so low. Apparently, ghosts have a lot of vision. Chat's telling me, yeah, Overlords have a lot of vision. Scarlet would know those numbers. You're not wrong, Toshi. Scarlet knows far too many stats in this game. Marine tank, Viking Raven coming forward. Here we go. Gonna go for the big stim. Oliveira knows he's got the numbers. His tanks are kind of in range. The tanks get sieged up for Kua first, though. Great fight for Kua. Oh, Oliveira just screwed up. If he loses all these tanks, it's going to be a disaster. The tanks are all going down. Kua's back in the game. Just like that. That was Oliveira getting sloppy. Why did he rush into that fight? Remember what Oliveira said after his Katowice World Championship victory last year? He said, there were so many moments where I knew that the old me, the past self, would have just rushed in and tried to finish it when I was ahead, but nowadays I just take my time and methodically build advantages, and that's why I won the World Championship. Guess what? That was old Oliveira just then. That was, I'm ahead, so I'm just going to throw my army at yours because I have more stuff. Turns out positioning does matter. Sieging your tanks later does matter. And now Kua has a forward position on him. Now, don't worry about losing the starports. Even that command center is not too bad. Losing this command center would suck, though. Ravens coming out. He's got 3 Ravens. And he's got tanks here. I think it would be worth unsieging all these tanks, maybe, and moving them here if Kua stops scanning. But right now, 5 tanks against 11, not looking good. Oh, the Liberators are going to save the day. That's huge. That is huge. The tanks and Marines did take down the rocks, though. Oh, these tanks are not unsieging. Kua, what are we doing? Okay, Kua, what's he doing? Kua running around like a headless chicken for a few seconds. What's he doing? He's going to stim on the libs like a mad dog. Oh, the tanks were unsieged. Kua was hanging around in a really silly looking way, but because Oliveira unsieged his tanks, he didn't have the cover for that position. And Kua once again is going to get the siege up in range of the command center. Oliveira's in trouble right now. He's going to have to go for it. Interference matrices on a bunch of the tanks. Marines, SCVs, Vikings, everything spread out. His own tanks get forward. If he doesn't break this position, he's screwed. But the first tank volley was devastating. The first tank volley on Kua's Marines there was absolutely devastating. And you know what? Well worth losing SCVs there, because now you've got control of your ramp. If he tries to move tanks up, you'll shell him as he does. Get another tank up here. and that's going to completely secure this base. Great play there by Oliveira to stabilize. He scans, he sees that Cua's got a 4th, or little does he realize it's actually his main base that's floated down as a 5th. There's this base in the middle as well. So Cua right now is on what I would refer to as a pleb economy, guys. Man is right now going down to the pawn shop and selling valuables, family heirlooms, you know, wedding rings and things like that. Grandma's old pearl necklace. He's like, yeah, what can I get for it? And he's getting robbed. He's getting robbed by the dude at the pawn shop. He knows he's desperate. He's going to have to go for one of those same-day loans with like a 40% interest rate per month or something. It's not going to go well for Cua if he can't find damage. So this is a good move. Marines behind the worker line. He's going to drop this side as well. Vehicle plate. Is that a second armory? I think that's a second armory, mate. Wow. You don't want to lose this armory. Seconds before it finishes 2-1. Denied! Wow, dude, great damage, but at the same time, massive counter drop goes on. Sorry, guys, for the tunnel vision there. The tanks are sieged on top of the production, losing both of his factories is Cua. Cua desperately tries to go for a counter drop. Raven Viking shoots it down. Cua does not have the numbers. He had a few good fights towards the end of that game. Oliveira looking a little sloppy, went ahead, but at the end of the day, both players take a point off each other. They clear each other off the board, and it is an even trade for the first series between Weibo and Liquid. All right. We got Team Liquid sending out Skillous next up against Weibo Gaming's JieShi, and that means, guess what, guys? Hero and CLEM are both waiting in the wings. Which means, you know, whoever gets eliminated here for either side, next those two have to be coming out. Of course, even at the end of that, you can imagine if we think about the scoreboard at the bottom, that would become 3-3. If these guys both trade, CLEM Hero play, they both trade. There's always an ace match at the end of this as well, right? Where both players get to... actually, you can revive a player even before the ace match, right? Because this is the playoff format. So I think you can actually revive... Or is that only in the finals where you get to... Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I should have... I try to keep myself as spoiler-free as possible so to not look too closely at the results, but I'm pretty sure it's just the regular ace match format where you can revive a player, and then if it ends up 3-3... Actually, yeah. Okay, now I'm just having a mental thought. Don't worry, I'll get back to that after this game. I'll look it up and figure that out. Anyways, probe harass for both sides. It is a PvP. Now, Skillous, I would say, is probably a slight favorite here. He did very well in the Chinese tournament recently, and he kills JieShi's probe. JieShi came in to harass from the inside of the middle lane. That's a move that Hero's famous for doing, and I've always said that you have a very high chance of killing that probe if you attack it. But because pro players have the mentality of, oh no, he's trying to bait me, I don't want to try to kill it, lose a bunch of mining time, and then, you know, fail to, they very rarely go for it. Dark is one of the few guys who would semi-regularly kill Hero's probe when he did that, and Hero stopped doing it to him. But JieShi getting a bit greedy, does get punished by Skillous to start as both sides go for that Stargate. So 2-gate Stargate, 2 Stalkers on this side. Meanwhile, only 1 Stalker. Oh my gosh, the greed from Skillous, guys. To go Stargate into 1 Stalker, into Nexus is crazy. What, is he just going to rush out an Oracle really early and use Oracle plus Stalker to hold on? Oh, this is such a greedy build order. Keep the Stalker back, Skillous. Get that Stalker out of there, mate. These 2 Stalkers are coming in. 2v1's pretty rough if you don't react quickly. Oh, gosh. I really don't like where that Stalker's placed. He needs to be closer to his ramp. Good. Oh, he's paying attention, though. Skillous is aware of the risks. Still no gateway units building? What in the heck? Crazy greed, man. Nexus can tank forever. You don't care about losing shields on your Nexus, right? It's not really in danger of dying. Oh, Stalker is a bit too deep there. Oracle could take out a Stalker, but it's not worth losing too many hit points on the Oracle. Oh, he's going to get a Stalker, but he's taken so much damage. And I actually think that's really a very worthwhile trade for JieShi. Because now as JieShi, you've stopped the Oracle from being effective, right? You've got your own Oracle coming across the map, your Nexus, maybe a few seconds later, but I definitely like this position for JieShi. That being said, Twilight Council just started for him. Warp gates are morphing. Oracle's going to come in. Is the Phoenix going to see it? Phoenix is just there. Skillous, quick to react. Shield battery not quite ready. He's going to get only 1 probe. Oh, okay. That's really good for Skillous. Fantastic for him. Now, there is still another Oracle. It's coming out right now. And he's going to fly through the middle of the map. A lot of the times, people will send their Phoenix around the edges of the map to try and catch you coming in. But looks like he's just going to fly around. The natural 3 Stalkers are ready to defend, as well as the shield battery in the main base. And we should be seeing a Twilight Council and Stalker production out of Skillous, but he hasn't started that yet. Skillous only now starting his Twilight Council. Oh, the earlier Blink's going to be a problem for him. Now, these Phoenix came in. Did they see the Twilight? No, they didn't. Got a probe down here as well. Phoenix does track the Oracle. Oracle should not find any damage. Gets 1 probe. Oof. It's really bad. Only 2 probes here. Look at that unit's loss tab, guys. 2 probes for a probe, a Stalker, and 2 Oracles. Wow. Third gateway comes down for Skillous. Question is JieShi's earlier Blink going to be something that he can use to trade? If so, that'll be great, but 3 Phoenix and an Oracle kind of keep you pinned at home, so JieShi wisely takes a faster third base. And here we go, Phoenix going to pick up both Stalkers. Oh no! Oh gosh, oh gosh. Oh, this is a lot of damage, guys. The Phoenix are going to drop those, and the Oracle will fly away. No, Oracle goes down. Phoenix pick up another probe or 2. And they will fly away to the natural. He's got enough energy for another pickup if he wants to, but he's just going to fly home for now. Oh, whoa. Okay, there we go. It does pull out. So that's great. An Oracle for 8 more probes. Cancels his own shield battery. Wow. Talk about being confident right now, because he just wants to take his third as quickly as possible. And I guess he realizes the Stalker count's similar enough. It's a great position to be in for Skillous. You might think earlier third base is good, but I'd say earlier expansions are worth a lot more the lower level you go, right? And I mean, like, at my level, it's worth a lot here to have the third base up because chronoing probes is really good, but the pace that top pro players play at, having the current mining better is always the more important thing, because the players aren't going to give you room to just probe up for the next 2 minutes, right? This is something where you know, JieShi could recover at a lower level quite easily, but instead he realizes he's in a bad spot. He's going charge and he's massing gateways. He's cutting probe production to do it. Phoenix don't realize that. They see a few gates coming up. That in itself isn't necessarily a huge tell. The big tell is seeing no gases on the natural. If he can get in there and scout that, that's the game changer. Oh, but he scouts the proxy! Oh, the all-in Zealot plan not going well. And this is looking like it's a shutout now. Because if your opponent commits hard to a charge all-in and you scout it like this delays it. You build a shield battery at each base. He's building one there. Doesn't have one in the natural yet. That's maybe a small mistake. There we go. And you just mass Stalker. And as long as you have the Stalker advantage, which Skillous has right now, there's no real chance for those Zealots to kind of weigh on you. You're also adding Forge upgrades to get further ahead the longer this game goes. And as long as you just non-stop warp in kind of Estrella style, you know, just constantly warping in units, you're going to find yourself in a good position the longer this game goes, getting a Stalker kill for free, not to mention Phoenix come in and kill 2 probes there. Nothing at home, make it 3 probes. Another Stalker goes down. This is so bad right now for JieShi. JieShi's just behind, and look at this, Adepts come in for the counterattack as well, adding insult to injury, and the Zealots aren't going to be able to even beat those 2 Adepts if they pull back into the choke point. Meanwhile, Stalkers on the front still just trying to hold that position. More probes have gone down. Phoenix still chilling in the main base. Adepts here fighting. Going to pick off a few more of these probes. This is massive damage. Phoenix pick off another probe there. The Adepts finally go down. On the front, the Stalker count is still in favor of Skillous. Skillous is going to make Resonating Glaives as well. That's on purpose, guys. It's specifically just to add some ranged anti-Zealot power to his army, because he knows the longer this is going, the more JieShi's just going to be all in on those Zealots. And these Phoenix just sitting above the base, casually getting probe kills every time they get 50 energy. This is a dominant lead for Skillous, who's got mass batteries, building cannons as well. Good blink back micro for him so far. 1 Stalker of his goes down. JieShi seems to have a good concave, but with battery overcharge coming in as well, I mean, you're going to get chased down by Skillous here. Skillous can absolutely run these Stalkers down. Doesn't choose to blink after him. Skillous playing a very cautious style, and I think it's just because he sees you've got 5 workers on your third. My third's full of workers. So not only are you only on 2 gases, but, you know, whereas Skillous is on 3, but JieShi's just up against a wall. And I tell you, the moment the proxy got scouted, that was the big turning point where JieShi went from, okay, maybe this desperate plan can work, to now I am shoving in, but with inferior numbers. And he's doing a really good focus fire. Notice how he randomizes the Stalkers he was focusing at there? That was actually a cool move for Jay. I just want to explain this last move for anyone who doesn't know. So basically, because if you just A-move, all your Stalkers are going to just shoot like whatever's at the front. Or if you just target the most exposed Stalker, it's very obvious. And it's very easy for Skillous to just blink back the front Stalker and actually dodge your Stalker shots, right? And really completely negate your damage. Not just pull back the weak unit to heal it, but actually dodge the volleys. So JieShi will come in and he shoots the cannon down, but then you're going to see he's focusing not always on the front stalker. Like that was a front stalker, but then he focused on one in the middle. That one kind of at the front. And notice, yeah, he's never focusing the most exposed ones. So it's really hard for Skillous to see which direction he's shooting and blink that stalker back, especially because he's moving right into melee range. This is a really good technique when you've got the numbers advantage to win the game. Of course, JieShi was just too far behind and Skillous takes the first map there. All right, well, you just got away with murder. That was a disgustingly greedy opening for Skillous that paid off big. And JieShi's going to be regretting losing those early oracles. If he'd like hid the oracles, waited for both of them to pair up or something like that, would have been great. But of course, he didn't know about the Phoenix coming out, you know, and didn't have a recall available to save the first one. Lost the second one with almost no damage. And from that point on, Skillous was, of course, in the driver's seat. They're both going to go high ground here on Alcyon. It's a pretty good map, Alcyon, in terms of, like, balance. But normally, the team with the range advantage really benefits off this watchtower. Because this is a mirror matchup, that's only going to matter if, say, one player's heavier on Stalkers, the other's on Zealot Archon. Stalker player's going to have a better time fighting around this tower, blinking back around, you know, these little blocking areas, using the tower vision. The Zealot Archon player is probably going to be moving to this left side of the map to attack these bases over here a lot more, just to try to avoid fighting near that tower, as well as doing warp-ins in the back with warp prisms. Why don't they cannon rush each other? Cannon rush is actually quite technical. It takes a lot of practice to really do a good cannon rush, and the problem is that most players aren't willing to put in the time to practice it because they feel like they only get a few wins out of it. And I think the way I would describe this is if Serral was a Protoss player, a player who doesn't play online cups, saves all of his strategies for the best, biggest tournaments, uses them against the opponents that he's most fearful of, most respectful of. I think you'd see Serral as a Protoss player do a lot of cannon rushes. Maybe not a lot, but like, you know, once every 3 or 4 big series he'd just throw out a cannon rush that he's perfectly practiced on a specific map in a specific situation, and he'd just get himself some free wins. The last time we saw a player that patient and use strategies like that was when Parting came back from the military. Absolutely got so many free maps with cannon rushes. It got to the point where guys like Solar, Rogue were always pulling probes or drones to scout because they were so respectful of it. And so because of that, it stopped working and Parting stopped doing it. And I always felt like he gave up on it a bit too easily. The fact that he had people being so respectful of him was great. At a certain point, he'd stopped cannon rushing so long, they stopped sending drones. You know, they stopped sending a drone down preemptively. And he was like, I'm not going to go back to cannon rushing. I don't think it works. And I was like, come on, man. They're playing greedy again. Go do it. So JieShi's lost his probe 2 games in a row, guys. That's not good for JieShi. He's going for a much greedier, fast expanded double sentry this time, though. Up against, of course, the quicker Stargate for Skillous. 2 Stalker pressure. Usually can be pretty annoying, but as long as the shield battery is there, as well as the 2 sentries, they can easily fight 2 Stalkers. Stalkers technically outrange sentries. I believe sentries are 5 range, Stalkers are 6. But, of course, with the battery healing, the Stalkers are going to struggle to get through there. They aren't armored units, the sentries, which means the Stalkers will not do bonus damage. Yeah. Oh, gets a volley on the hallucination, but it immediately gets healed by the battery, which is kind of hilarious. This is actually not a situation you want, because hallucinations take double damage. So, actually wasting battery energy on hallucinations is not great. In this scenario, it doesn't matter. Just one of those technical interactions. If you have like a hallucinated Archon and your battery overcharge is trying to heal it, it's having half the healing efficiency it would have on a normal fighting unit, because damage is worth double against those hallucinations. Now, we do have these Stalkers just chilling. Robo comes in as well for JieShi, which is not my favorite. I mean, Immortals, to be fair, I have died in PvP to so many Immortal Sentry timings recently. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but it's become so popular, the Immortal Sentry timing, and it's definitely something that the Chinese and Asian scene is big on. So we'll see if Skillous, playing in the virgin European meta where everyone just macros every game, if he's ready for it. Yeah, I really feel like there's this really big problem with non-Asian players who don't get a chance to practice in that region and on those ladders much, is they make too many assumptions about this build is bad, or you know, this works, this doesn't work. And sometimes I think they just forget the little addendums to that, like if both players play perfectly, if you have 100% vision and don't get surprised at all. And then you realize in an actual StarCraft game, you're constantly lacking vision. You're constantly surprised. The Stalkers move out. Oh no, JieShi moves out at the worst time, loses 3 probes. Great catch there for Skillous. Now multiple observers and hallucinations moving forward. Blinks on the way. The first Immortal's about to be out. We're going to see a Warp Prism get chrono. 2 more gateways. It's a 4-gate Immortal Prism timing. Now, surely he goes Warp Prism here rather than second Oracles to escape. Warp Prism should start up. Yep. Oh, no. Skillous. Oh, bad micro. Just clicked those over way too soon. He could grab this probe. But looks like that probe will have a chance to pretend to take the 3rd base. Remember, there's no Twilight Council for JieShi. Here comes the Immortal Sentry attack. You could definitely defend on 2 base, I think, with 3-gate Stalker. Blink micro should be good. That blink needs that ready. 30 seconds out still. Oh, Stasis Trap would be good, but with the Observer there, Revelation would actually be more effective on that Observer. Skillous doesn't seem to be aware of what's happening. 3rd base is up, probe production coming behind this. This is like a heavy pressure more than anything. Twilight Council finally starts for JieShi. JieShi realizes this will not be a winning maneuver, but it is a move that forces Skillous to delay his 3rd. This is really clever. I like that JieShi, even though he's gone 4-gate with this, it feels like a big commitment. He's still transitioning and macroing because he knows Skillous sees what's coming, and therefore he can't be going all in with this. Guardian Shield is fantastic. Stasis Trap goes down. Stalker's pulling back. More gateways going down. Forge coming down behind this for JieShi. Meanwhile, Skillous is kind of stuck on 2 base because he thinks he's getting all in. This is a problem. He needs to get in here and see that 3rd base because that 3rd base is almost done. And don't get me wrong, you have the blink advantage, but do you have enough numbers to overwhelm this? No, you don't. No, you don't. I almost feel like as Skillous, you want to get charge here so you can jump on top of the Immortals. You know, charge forward, blink in, focus fire the Immortals, and then the Sentry with the Guardian Shield. And try to get some damage, but instead we're being forced onto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates on 2 base. That's a lot of gateway production. Skillous finding himself in a hard position. The Observer sees everything. JieShi's once again going to deny this 3rd base attempt. Pylon gets cancelled. Probe goes down. There are 2 Adepts warping on the other side of the map, but it's a little bit too late. If this was hitting earlier, it could have been very effective. Stalkers are trying to fight out front here. Decent micro on both sides. Skillous, of course, has more micro opportunity, but loses 2 more Stalkers at the tail end of that fight. Adepts are going to shade in. This could be very effective. I think the Observer seeing everything is so big for JieShi, though. JieShi's like, look, I might not have Blink, but it's fine. I'm making Blink. It's almost ready. The Adepts are going to come in here for Skillous. Walks into that base undefended. And this is what was missing this entire time for Skillous, is the counterattacks that, hey, you can't pressure with your whole army and defend your economy at the same time. Skillous finally getting some very nice damage done here. He's going to get at least 6 or 7 probes. And you can see they did desync their attacks a little bit. 7 probes in total go down. And the Adepts are cleaned up. Gateway building on the front. Charge goes down for Skillous as well. Skillous is not building a 3rd, and that's a problem. The Observer sees this. JieShi knows there is no 3rd base right now. Stalkers blink forward. Going for a bit of a YOLO. He thinks there's no Blink, but Blink is now done for JieShi. JieShi can pull back. His battery may not be ready just yet, but he's got an Immortal in there. His units join up from both sides of the map. The Stalkers here coming out. And Skillous, I don't think he has the numbers to break him. Equal Stalker count, you've both got Blink, and not only that, +1's about to finish. As +1 kicks in, you've got right now 8 gates against 6 in JieShi's favor. JieShi has the mining 3rd base. Your 3rd base has not even started. Skillous is all in. He's making Stalkers. He's going to do some Adepts for the counterattack, do some Zealots as well behind with the charge. He's trying to make a Forge, but he is so far behind. I think that Forge should be cancelled. Going for upgrades on 2 base seems like a desperate decision here. He does start a 3rd base as well. No doubt thinking about some sort of transition, but he needs some magic Stalker trades right now, something he hasn't been able to get. Adepts are going to shade into the natural. Very nice. At the same time, Oracle gets a big Stasis Trap in the main. He's getting some decent damage. Good micro so far with these Adepts. Manages to get 4 probes, make it 5. And no more focus fire there. Okay, it's going to be 6. Not bad. 6 probes. Oracle still chilling in the main base. Stalker does see it. Oracle pulls back. 3rd base is now halfway done. Only down 5 probes. More probes are building. Forge is on the way as well. Skillous. It feels like he's making this game playable, He's still in a very dire position. He's down in upgrades. The Stalker count comes forward. JieShi unafraid of fighting back here. The Stalker's getting pushed away. Skillous is already going to lose one. Blink forward to punish. JieShi takes out 3 Stalkers for none. He's looking for a 4th right now. Skillous is taking terrible trades. He's got to run away. He's trying to recall Stalkers in the main. Massive Zealot warp in there. JieShi with a vicious counterattack. The Warp Prism will go down, but these Zealots are doing very well, even without charge. Slow Zealots are great. The Stalker's caught in the middle, and Skillous falling apart. JieShi, once again, trades with Skillous. And we are going to be going into CLEM versus Hero. All right. The big dogs are out. We've got Hero in the bottom left side of the map. And CLEM in the top left. Tied up 2-2 in this series. And we're going to see what goes on here. Obviously going to be a lot of excitement as Hero really has the ability to push CLEM. He has the ability to push CLEM right to the limit. And to see what mistakes he can get out of him. Speaking of which, what are you doing, Hero? What are you doing up here, mate? Second gas. Oh, my lordy. Oh, my lordy. So, double gas. That means this is a 1-base play, guys. And he's committing. He's bringing a second probe down as well. Oh, my gosh. So, he's going to mine through the whole thing. This is a double gas opening for CLEM, which is going to give him tech pretty early. The question is, what is this? Is this 1-base blink proxy here? You try to blink in or something, you open these minerals up and run in and just blink into the main base? Do we go proxy Tempest down here? Maybe even with shield batteries sieging the main base? Proxy Dark Shrine drop? Like, it could be a Dark Templar drop from right outside your base? Do we just want to take this base for some reason with 2 gold patches that's really not worth the risk? Oh, Hero, you are a crazy guy. I like that he's brought out a special plan here because CLEM hasn't been scouting much. This is a map with hasn't been scouting very much. And this is a map with very specific architecture. So, okay. Pylon goes up back here. He's already got a second one there blocking the fastest possible Reaper path. Reaper's going to have to go around. To be fair, the Reaper's already looking for proxies. But no, he does decide to go straight across the map with this Reaper. And CLEM's going to get his first inkling of that Pylon being there when this Reaper automatically paths to the right. And that's because if an area is completely walled off, units know about it even through the fog of war. So this is kind of a weird thing about the way the StarCraft 2 engine works. It doesn't pathfind individually for each unit based on what they can see. It actually does it kind of globally based off the map terrain. Kind of funny thing. Ooh, gets himself a probe. Nicely done. Good pullback timing. If you end up losing this Reaper, it's quite bad, but if you keep it alive, that can be very nice. And it's indeed, it's a Robo Twilight. Twilight into Robo. It's a Dark Templar drop up against an Expand Marine Cyclone. I mean, so the thing is, CLEM has no idea what's happening. He knows it's 1 base. He knows something cheeky's happening. What safety precautions do you take, guys? A bunker on the high ground? Do you start building tanks? Do you rush Raven? Raven's only if you think it's Dark Templar. Bunker on the high ground. Okay, so he does go bunker on the high ground. I mean, I'm thinking, what would I get if I was in this scenario? Lots of army, right? Army, cut SCVs to build army. Viking! Viking's so good, guys. He's only got 1 adept. He's making a 2nd adept. So the Viking is very good because anything involving a warp prism, even if there's an observer, you can potentially scan it, shoot it down to deny blink stalkers from blinking in. There's a lot of ways that can help out. And he even confirms it. He sees everything. Which means after that, he can put the tech lab starport on the tech lab. Factory's already swapping off. And he knows what he's got to defend. Adept does clean that up. He's warping in more adepts. You're kidding me. Oh no, you need Stalkers, Hero. Otherwise, this Viking is going to be such a nightmare. He just spent all of his warp-ins. 4 gates, warp in, nothing that shoots up. And oh my lord. CLEM completely shuts this build down with a single Viking. That is tragic. That is so absolutely disastrous for Hero. He's going to warp in a Dark Templar. It's an 11-second warp in. CLEM can see that, and he can just scan. He can just scan, kill that. Oh, maybe he didn't quite have the energy. But look at that. 1 Marine for a Dark Templar and a scan. He'll take that trade any day. Raven's now out. So any future Dark Templar that warp in there are going to just instantly die. Next Dark Templars are warping in on the backside. And he's going to be able to ferry those around with the Warp Prism temporarily. Vikings out again. Did he not make anything that shoots up again? Hero! The same Viking for the second time in this game is completely destroying Hero's build. Oh no. Oh no. All right, Hero is now fighting for his life. If he can trade here, it's going to force both sides to revival their players. And there's very little doubt that Weibo Gaming is going to bring Hero out again. And of course, Team Liquid's going to bring out CLEM again. So if Hero can win this map, he can do that. Now, obviously, if he loses this map and it's 3-2, they can still revive him, but he will need to 2-0. He'll need to win both maps after he's revived, because otherwise it would just end up being, obviously, a 4-3. So you need to force the ace match. You need to get it to 4-4. You need to basically come on out and do that. Clem's already secured a point here. This game here is to make sure he can secure his own life so he doesn't have to use his revival just yet. This is going to be a big situation. So remember, guys, 1 revival for each team. If it's still tied up at the end of that revival 2-map series, that's when you get the ace match. That's when, and remember, the ace match player cannot be the same as the revived player, which means teams that don't have as deep a roster are in big trouble there. Because you got teams like Vitality and Basilisk who have amazing players like Solar or Raynor as their like backup ace. There's a reason they do so well in this format. Whereas teams like Team Liquid and Weibo that clearly have Hero and CLEM as their best player are a little handicapped in that scenario. You know what's interesting, guys? Why is Sue not playing? Didn't Weibo pick up Sue? They chose JieShi over Sue. That is fascinating. Maybe they felt like JieShi actually has better performances than him right now. Just seems crazy because Sue's got such history in the game. I guess I still think of him as being such a high-tier player, but fascinating that they didn't bring Sue out in this series at all. Yeah. All right, guys, we got the factory there as well. Gas coming up. This is a no-scout opening for Hero. Sorry, digesting the format there a little bit. Apologies for making it so convoluted. I know it's a bit of a confusing format, but it's very fun. Just remember, every 2 maps, you're fighting to take your opponent's life and potentially keep your own life alive as well. So far in this series, it's all been 1-1s, which means both players have traded. CLEM, though, shutting down that cheese in game 1. He's going to come in. There's a Stalker into a Sentry opening. Hero, very unlike him to do a Sentry opening. That's an Estrella-style build. Reaper just has to back away. Cyclone's coming in. Oh, Clem's going to go for Old Faithful. Now, for those who don't know, Old Faithful, this is a build that Clem does, which wins an unreasonable amount of the time. He does it almost every time he plays Oceanborn, because it's I don't know, I guess just because it's a kind of not that long distance map. What? Forge. Okay, Forge is not going to help against this. This is a problem. So the real reason this is a problem is because Clem's going to build another Cyclone. He's going to build a Medevac, and he's just going to attack you, man. Oh, actually, he's going Widow Mine. He does pull the mule off so that it doesn't actually mine those last 25 minerals. Reaper's going to come in here, pokes in, pokes out. Oh. Okay, so +1 attackers on the way, as well as a second gateway and a battery. I actually love the early single Forge styles. He's going to get Robo as well. Hero cutting probes right now, though. Only for a second, but still a little awkward. Medevac coming in. And it's a Cyclone, a few Marines. Cyclone comes forward. Stalker, get out of there! Hero with a very slow reaction. Does take a bit more damage than he probably should have. Damaging the Cyclone's the key here. But the Reaper is, I guess, a little bit more of a vulnerable unit. Oh, this is very dangerous for Hero. Just go back and heal, bro. Let that shield battery do its job. Hero's such a horny player. He just refuses to pull back because he wants the Cyclone kill. Okay, finally does get the shield battery to heal most of those shields. Widow Mine's up here as well. Cyclone has to pull back. Phoenix sees the Medevac on the way forwards across the map. 4 Stalkers and a Sentry in the middle of the map. +1 attack. Almost halfway done as he goes to 4 gas on 2 base. Why? Why would you go 4 gas on 2 base? Is he going to play 1-1 upgrade Charge Storm? I think but he doesn't even have a Twilight Council yet. Oh, Hero's playing some bizarre StarCraft, and he's out of position for the Widow Mine drop right now. Hero's build order is incredibly creative, guys. I don't know if it's any good or not yet, though. 2 Stalkers in position, keep the drop away. Nicely done. Stalkers on the front. Ooh, 4 Stalkers and a Sentry. Going to do pretty well here. Force Field, it doesn't do that much on the ramp. These Stalkers need to pull back. Good pullback on these units so far, but the Sentry does fall. Medevac drop rotating around. Observer does track it, though. 4 Stalkers are ready for the intercept. 4 Stalkers pull back on the front as well. Robo Bay goes down. Okay, so Hero just wants to play like a Stalker Sentry Colossus style. Fascinating. Siege Tank is there as well. I definitely want to see +1 armor queued up. You want to immediately go for armor. And I guess he needs the 4 gas because he's going to go early upgrades and Colossus and Twilight Council upgrades, which is going to be pretty damn huge. Ooh, hello. Okay, gets rid of 1. Oh, no, careful. Oh, okay, 1 Stalker goes down. Beautiful retargeting there by Clem. Medevac takes some damage. Oh, Hero! Why do you go back to mining when there's a Widow Mine still there? Hero losing 6 probes. Unfortunate. 6 probes and a Stalker. Massive damage on the economy of Hero. Remember, he was already only 2 base, so that massively slows down his ability to take the 3rd. His +1 armor has started here, but it was a little delayed, and he's going to chrono probes to try and replace these. Getting back on mineral saturation, incredibly important. First Colossus comes in. Meanwhile, Stim, Shields, 3 barracks. Factory and Starport will build their own reactors as Clem gets the gas for it. He's already up on 4 gas, or 4th gas now finishing. +1 weapons on the way for Clem as well, but he's going to be behind on upgrades, at least in the early stages of this. And we are going to go for Blink. Interesting. Thought Hero might feel pressured enough that he had to go charge, but I think he realizes if you don't have Blink, Clem can drop you all day. Great Observer Scout. Sees the army. Army does not see him. And, oh, yes it does. Yes it does. Run, run, run. Run, run, roo. Run, run, roo. Let that Cyclone kill on you. Unfortunately, the Cyclone gets close enough, and that will barely go down. Meanwhile, Medevac in the far north side of the map, 3rd Command Center drops reactively to this, or at least on location, was probably always planning that. Marine Marauder Medevac coming on out with 2 siege tanks, swapping, of course, off tank production into mine production. Not a bad way to do it. This Medevac hanging out here, and of course, Hero with fantastic vision. Single Stalkers left on the edges to zone the drop. 3rd Nexus is almost up. Hero's probing has been rather slow this game. With the good upgrades, it might be a-okay. Supply block on 86, though. These small errors are going to cost you. When you play a build like this, it is a very different game flow, and you really need to make sure you hit your basics just right. I'd love to see +2 attack started already, and chrono boosting that. A lot of players don't start upgrades until 9 minutes in this matchup, right? He's going to have 1-1 finished at 7 minutes. Huge upgrade position to be in for Hero. But, oh gosh, he barely misses the army move out. That's a problem. That is a huge problem. This is a very smart move by Clem. He's actually threading the needle, and Hero will not see him till he arrives at the natural. This could be a really dumb way to lose this game. A really unfortunate way to lose this game. The Medevac escapes from the north. These guys are going to get in position. He's going to be able to siege this ledge. Oh, this is such a good move right now for Clem. Sieges up in a forward position. And look at that. Stalkers come forward. Tanks say, boom, boom. Get out of here, mate. 2nd Forge coming in right now. Kind of wild to go double Forge this early for Hero. He does not have charge. Hero does not have charge, I repeat. He does not have charge. 3 Sentries, 11 Stalkers, 2 Colossus. Can he deal with this? 5 probes have already gone down. He's losing pylons as well as a gas geyser. And the drop moving in and out. He's trying to be annoying as Clem. Hero could blink forward and shoot these Medevacs down. If you have 9 Stalkers, you can one-shot them. This move for Clem is super risky. And I actually think that would have been worth it if you have maybe 10 Stalkers, because the 2 tanks will kill your Stalkers too quickly otherwise. But double drop on the right side as well. Good army split. Colossus and a few Sentries heading over there. Not many Stalkers on that right side, though. Colossus and Sentries should be able to defend this base rather easily. I say rather easily. Battery will get focused down, but the Colossus and the Zealot do defend for now. Probe will not notice the army rotating, at least not at the start. Man, Probe vision is very low. Sees the siege tank moving over there. Stalkers blink forward. Hero has 2-2 upgrades on the way. When those 2-2 upgrades finish, he's going to have a brilliant army power spike against the 1-1 Terran. That being said, though, Clem is up in workers. He's got Vikings building to deal with the Colossus. He's already got 2 Vikings. Does need more. 3 Colossus are out. Stalkers blinking on the tanks. A crazy hero-style move. He does split fire the tanks, but at what cost? Oh, man. Clem's going to punish. Clem is going to punish. He gets rid of 1 Colossus, 2 Colossus. He does take big Colossus splash damage, but it's worth it. That was a wild, opportunistic dive for Hero. The sort of move that wins him a lot of games, but it also can backfire, and it absolutely backfired there. Colossus goes down. Stalker's getting overrun by the Marine Marauder. Even this small pack of wounded bio, easily enough to overpower 4 Stalkers. Nice. Even hot picking up the Vikings, forcing the probe pull, and Clem here just looking absolutely stellar. He's not only going to kill Hero, he's also going to preserve his own life and secure the 3-2 scoreline. He's going to force Hero to come back up while Clem stays in for the next round. Hero obviously trying to fight it out. Remember, Hero losing this map means he's going to have to 2-0 when he comes out. Unless they want to be crazy and send out JieShi or Oliveira. They could send out Oliveira. Actually, Oliveira versus Clem might be a better match. Ooh, it might be. With how Clem's looking in PvT and how good Oliveira looked in TvT. Ooh, I'd actually love to see that. That might be the smarter call right now as we watch Hero getting dismantled. Let's see who they're going to bring out. Oh my lord. The Mad Lads, guys. Clem in the bottom left side of Dynasty, and they've sent Hero out again. Not gambling on Oliveira, but Hero saying, I'm confident. Give me another shot. I can take him down. Remember, though, there's a problem. Hero doesn't just need to win this map. He needs to win the next one as well, because it's a best of 7. Remember? So if he wins 2 games, then it becomes 3-3. Right? Because he will both get a point and preserve his own life. And then it's going to be Liquid that brings Clem back to life. And then if they both go 1-1 in that match. So if Hero wins 2-0, he will stay and him and Clem will play again another 2 maps. If they go 1-1, then an ace match will come out where both teams will have to resurrect a different player, and it'll likely be Cure versus Oliveira rematch to decide the whole thing in a single map, a single ace match. Chances of us getting there not that high, right? That's if the stars align. But if Hero wins this map and then Clem wins the next, guess what? Still going to be a 4-3 victory for Team Liquid. So you need to win this map and the next as Hero. It's all on the line. There's no more second chances. But for now, it looks like he's going to go for the gold base early. Yeah, okay, he's going to gamble on the gold base. Now, the problem is this is predictable. Absolutely, Clem will expect this. So you need to have a very clever plan. This is one of these things, right? You'll play these maps, and you'll think, oh, gold base first. That's not something you'd predict playing ladder necessarily. Really, though, on this map, it's always something Protoss could do, and when it's Hero, you know he cannot resist. I've always said a gold base to Hero is like putting raw meat in front of a dog that hasn't eaten for a week. Like, we're talking about a starving dog. It won't think twice. I don't care how well trained that dog is. It will eat that up immediately. He so rarely skips on the gold base. Instead, he's just going to try to go for it. Reaper's heading in that direction. Adept is coming. It's a double gas opening, so it's going to be a very quick factory. Few workers pulled off gas. Clem looks like he's going to go for the normie expand. The very safe expansion. I like that choice. So he's going to say, look, I'm going to push everything towards the north, punish you, and I don't want to leave an opening here where a single Adept can come and ruin my mining. Reaper comes in. I like that the probe's hiding up top. If the Reaper saw that, he'd be able to kill it. But instead, he's just trying to stack damage. Battery, it's losing its shields. Its shields are gone, which means it's taking a bit more damage on its hit points now. And it means when it's finished building, it's going to have no shields. So every bit of damage here stacks up, adds very important damage. Probe could block him there. The probe actually could have blocked him there, so the Adept could have stayed on the left side and delayed the shade. Recall comes in, and this is a purple gas, remember, as well. So you're going to put 3 workers on gas for the double efficiency mining, bunch of workers on the gold minerals, and that income will shoot up. Right now it's lower, but watch that income tab as those gold minerals kick in and that purple gas. Already you can see the gas way above Clem's, almost double the gas mining. Actually, it is double the gas mining, and he's ahead in the minerals a little bit as well, despite there being a mule on the map right now. So anyways, we're going to go for a second gateway in a Twilight Council. Looks like just a blink opening to cover this. And it's going to be Reactor Hellions. Oh, okay. So this is it. The Hellions, it's actually your main base you need to guard. Hero has a shield battery there, because we know Hero should be able to defend his gold base quite easily. He's going to have a Stalker, 2 Adepts out. I mean, is it that easy, though? Maybe not. He doesn't have a lot of vision, and right now he probably thinks there's a gold base here. He's just assuming. Hero hasn't scouted at all. He has no idea what's happening. He's playing just blind, but with assumptions right now. He's warping in another Stalker. The Stalker's over here. Remember what I said? You have to defend the main base. That's because the gold base is always the exposed point. That's why. That's where he knows your defense is going to be. Clem diving the main base, and Hero is caught with his pants down. He's already lost 4 probes. Stalkers need to get rid of him. Good probe split so far. Pretty good split on these probes. Oh, the Stalker warp-in was actually amazing, but no. Bro! Oh, Hero tried to go and hide back in there. No. Not like that, mate. 13 probes go down. Stalker's going to try and deal with these. All the Adepts, the Stalker's doing what they can. There's only, no more damage. No more damage able to go down here. Not with only a single Hellion. You can't get through the shields and the healing. But, dude, what a crazy amount of damage. If Hero didn't send those probes all back at once, he might have been okay. This is why it's so important to see what your opponent's going for. Without seeing that, now we've got Marine Tank Liberator constantly being produced behind this, and that's going to come in for massive potential damage. Okay, Liberator's going to go in from the north. At the same time, Gateway's there. Look at this. He's planning his Blink counterattack. Little does he realize, Liberator's coming in just after he warped in 4 Stalkers. Oh, Hero doesn't notice. Oh, Hero with a slow response. He's taking big damage right now. He's going to start pulling those probes at the same time. Those Stalkers going down. Blink isn't quite ready. I think he wanted to Blink behind, but the tank is covering it anyway. Oh, the Adept shading as well. Hero, the lack of control groups potentially being a big pain there. For those who don't know, Hero does not use control groups like a normal player. He plays a very weird style. That the tank is not covering the bunker. The Marines aren't in the bunker either. He needs to repair. SCVs are pulling for the repair. Tank is there. Gets itself a shot off though. Meanwhile, Liberator rotates into the main base. Dude, Hero's taking a lot of damage. If that Stalker goes down as well, it's going to be a problem. Stalker's picking off a few SCVs. He's busy microing, which means he's not watching at home. The Liberator kills the Stalker. And everything is going tits up right now. This is a disastrous start for Hero. CLEM is all over him. Another Liberator comes in from the left side in the main base. Looks like that Liberator does finally go down after just getting one shot off on the Stalker. He's got to do massive damage. He's on 18 probes against 41. He has to blink on the tank, take it out, and just keep diving. Oh my gosh, the tank is getting multiple shots off though. The SCV's trying to repair the bunker, and the SCVs will be able to do so. There's just not enough firepower here for Hero though. He's lost even more probes. He's down to 18 workers. He lost more mining time there. He finally cleans up that Liberator on the other side, which means he can just focus on the front. But Hero is so far behind. CLEM here with a brilliant opening. The 4 aliens in the Reaper. Why make it fancier than it needs to be? Hero put himself in an exposed position and CLEM shut him down for it. One has to wonder, if you're playing this style, why wouldn't you build your pylon and your gateway at the ramp? It's occurring to me in real time, but think about this, guys. If you're going to play the gold base, you should always wall off this ramp, right? Pylon, gateway, and then you can just full wall. Or use a single unit on a hold position. Though the Reaper could bounce it out of the way with a grenade, the full wall is more solid, right? You just leave a probe there, you just build a building temporarily, wall off the base. Hellions ain't going to do anything, and then you can focus all your units on defending that other base. It's also way cheaper than building a shield battery and leaving Stalkers in the main. Hero desperately all in right now. If he loses this game, then we will see Weibo Gaming eliminated from the entire tournament, and it is looking like that is very likely. He's down 17 workers. He can't find any damage. He's down 1,000 resource and units lost trading. CLEM is up to a second barracks now with Stim. Third barracks about to land. Factory and starport building reactors. Stalkers poking in, sees the tank, and gets out of there. Templar Archives coming in is always a good call. One of the best comeback players in the game is Storm because its damage is so sudden and brutal. Doesn't matter how quick you are, once the storm lands, the damage will be going out, whereas a disruptor shot can always be somewhat avoided. All right, Hero should get this Raven. What? Hero! His screen must have been centered up here. He didn't even see it, guys. He did not notice the Raven. Stim's going to go down. Oh, nice snipe of Stim for just one Stalker. That was a really good trade. Not sure if he realized about that Raven coming across, though. Can't be affording to take damage. The auto turret harass. Stalkers here trying to do some damage. Marine Marauder coming forward. Nice blink backs for the Stalkers. Hero is just getting mauled in this game. Like, getting Stim delayed is nice, right? But does it really matter? Did CLEM really want to move out to kill you just now? No, he can just wait. He's got a third command center halfway done. You haven't even started the third Nexus. You're down 15 workers. Hero is desperate for damage. Now, auto turret can't do much against the shield battery. Double auto turret can, of course, focus fire units and get through it. That Raven is going to go in, and there we go. Double auto turret comes in. It's going to force those probes away. We'll take out the shield battery, of course, also opening up the chance for future damage as well. Gets himself a single probe and the shield battery. Third Nexus is on the way. He's taking it out front for some reason. I guess why not? You got to defend this area anyway, and this way you can battery overcharge out here. Storm, High Templar, gathering energy, Robo's on the way. Clem is going to move forward. Stim, 3/4 of the way done. +1 weapons almost done, as is combat shields. Hero with a good reaction on those Stalkers, ready to kind of counterattack in and maybe intercept the reinforcement from the left side. I do like that move. I think it's a very clever way to do it. Good Stalker map control as well for Hero. Stalker comes in from that north side. Bit derpy on that particular Stalker. These guys, though, will pick off a Marauder. Nice moves. Gets himself a bit of damage on the Marines as well. Hero fighting hard from behind. One cannot help but look at that supply count, though, and realize that we are watching a dead man walking. We are watching a man who just cannot take maps off Clem recently. Clem has ascended. He truly has. His confidence is next level. He seems unshakable. The number of times I saw him in trouble in recent games and just... I feel like he used to get in bad spots and panic sometimes, and now he just calmly keeps playing. And he's fought himself back from so many bad positions over the last few months, and it's become second nature for him to just kind of say, you don't need to just get ahead and put me on the defensive. You need to really put me in the ground. And it's just so much easier said than done. Because he will just keep attacking you. He will keep defending when he needs to. And then he'll go forward and shove when the time is right. 4 ghosts are on the way. It's the modern 4 Tech Lab style of TVP, guys. Only 1 reactor. Second Engineering Bay Armory goes down. It's going to clear the gateway in the south. Biostimming forward. Stalkers are weak. Stalkers are so vulnerable. Concussive Shells now does start. He realized he forgot it. Or maybe he just had it queued up behind the shields upgrade. But no, I think he forgot it until just then. Stalker's going to back away. So we've got High Templar. We've got Zealots. I like that the High Templar are spread a little bit. Hero, though, hitting a few small supply blocks here and there. Does start a 4th base. He's only on 54 workers. And he's going to be fighting here with 46 army supply. Ooh, I like the ambush storms. Yeah, it's got to get out of there, though. Does save the High Templar and most of the Stalkers. He's got to use map control as much as he can. He's trying to drop again. He doesn't have storm energy. He drops to feedback. Oh, that's very cute. Does lose 1 High Templar, though. Gets a bit too far ahead of himself. 4th Command Center is almost done. 3 more barracks are building. Clem right now is large and in charge. I told you guys it's Clem versus the world. For those who don't know, before we got to this match, did I say this at the start of this cast? I might not have. I'm not sure if I remember to. Clem single-handedly, before this series, was already 12-0. 5 wins against Shopify Rebellion and 7 wins against Psystorm Na'Vi. That's right. 12-0 in this team. Like, it's already been Clem versus the world, and it seems like once again, it is continuing. His teammates got a chance to actually do some more heavy lifting in this match, in trading out against the early opponents. When it comes to it, going 3-0 against the Ace would be just absolutely incredible. And I really probably should have given you guys that, because I'm not casting those earlier series, because I'm like, how many series can I cast of Clem just dismantling everybody, right? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And if they win this, which it looks like they're about to, Team Liquid will be facing Basilisk in the next round. A very scary task. Serral and Raynor, I don't see Skillous, a laser, or Cure taking many maps. Maybe a map against those guys. It's going to be tough, which means Clem is going to have to do heavy lifting once again. And don't get me wrong, he seems heavily favored versus Serral right now, but Raynor arguably is dead even with him, right? They're so closely matched, Clem and Raynor right now. A lot of people look at Raynor's recent performances at the World Championship, and I think people just look at like 1 or 2 results and they go, oh, he didn't win the whole tournament. Maybe he's not doing that. Guys, Raynor is in some of the best form of his life right now. But anyway, we'll get to that when we get to it. For now, Clem is just playing so methodical. Notice there's no rushing in his play anymore. Used to sometimes feel like Clem would try to rush. High Templar, big storm drops. They're a little slow though. It felt like those storm drops were a little slow. Stalker's blinking forward, going to take this out. Clem does take a bit of an awkward trade, but awkward trades are good for him right now because he is that far ahead. EMPs on these units are great. Battery overcharge in the back does try to help out. Storm comes down. Another storm would be nice, but of course you got to watch out for those EMPs. He's going to snipe the High Templar, and that is super worth it for Clem. He's taking a 5th base down the bottom is Hero. Hero's supply is impressive. Hero should be dead in this game. Hero should be completely dead. Is Clem actually giving him too much time? I admire when a player's not rushing, but you need to actually do something with it. +2 ship weapons, lib range, and a 2nd starport. Actually, it's a 3rd starport on the way. Okay, yeah, he's in a good spot. I mean, we knew he was in a good spot, but I mean, he's in an about-to-be game-winning spot. Because even though Hero's like got some supply, his upgrades are so far behind. He's just got +2 attack started up against +3 started. So he's going to be down 2 to 3 upgrades in the next few fights. And there's going to be lib range. If you're out upgraded and they have lib range libs, when you're still stuck on just Stalker, Zealot, 1 or 2 Colossus, 1 or 2 High Templar, it's going to be hard. It's all going to be about landing good storms, and that requires map control, which is difficult on this map. I think Zealot's counterattacking this left side would be the most effective. Tries to charge in the right, runs into Clem taking a forward planetary, and I think Hero's going to realize Zealots need to hit the top left. He needs to come in from that top left into the natural, in towards the production. This is the most exposed part of Clem's infrastructure and economy. Zealots going back in on the right side. Not my favorite move. Let's pull them back now. Gateway going up in the top left side of the map. More Colossus building. It's still single robo and only 6 gateways. Only 6 gateways against 8 barracks. 3 starports, lib range, +2 ship weapons almost finished. Clem is on 5 bases with 4 orbitals. Clem has everything going for him. Hero right now, he might not be using pointy sticks, right? Don't get me wrong, guys. He's figured out gunpowder. He's figured out how NIDA works. He's got musket men. Unfortunately for him, Clem is coming in with a modern military. We're talking the whole shebang. He's got an air force, aircraft carriers, navy. He's got air support, artillery, tanks, modern armor, machine guns. Everything you need. Full body armor, even for his regular soldiers. Hero with his musketmen is going to struggle right now. Those range libs and tanks setting up a beautiful siege. How do you deal with this? With Stalker, Zealot. Don't get me wrong, 3-3 Stalker, Zealot. Storm and Colossus backing up. Maybe 1-1. Okay, +2's about to finish, but still. He'll still be behind 1 upgrade after that. And that's incredibly nasty as Clem just slowly marches forward. 4 Liberators set up here. He's not building that many more libs because Clem is supply blocked right now. He's keeping his ghost count very high. 6 ghosts with 4 more building. Zealot counterattack there on that left side. Widowmine does see it coming, as well as the sensor tower. These Widowmines will slowly soften up some of these Zealots. Libs and tanks on that right side do take out a few Stalkers. Is there anything at home? A Liberator and a few Ghosts. Nice EMPs. The Ghosts are going to have to pick up with the Medevac potentially, but wait, no, just stands his ground. Liberator support there and holding in a choke point with Medevac healing is apparently cracked. Buying a lot of time is Hero. Hero's ability to come back in this matchup, second to none. He's one of the best players at making comebacks. He's also one of the best players at throwing advantages. Right now, he's in his best element, right? Way behind, doing things to get back in the game. Dark Shrine, double upgrades on the way, still rebuilding his Colossus count, trying to march in and out, slowing down the siege, but the siege is inexorable. It's something that will not be stopped. We need to see more swinging counterattacks on that left side, but he can't be running through the middle and announcing it ahead of time. He needs to go around the top left, send 20 Zealots in, get on top of the production, force some more movement. You cannot fight into a pre-siege. Storm does not land really on anything. It just tickles some ghosts. He's got to run these probes away. Hero not running his probes away. He's on 95 workers. Hero's on 95 workers. I think Hero's completely lost track of what's happening in this game. He blinked some Stalkers to the low ground. God knows why he did that. He does lose those 18 workers, which probably actually helps him because now he can replace them with actual army units. Vikings coming back. Stalker's going to try and deal with those. Good micro by Clem, though. Even in the chaotic situations, Clem's micro is so cool, calm, and collected. Oh, the Prism's almost dead. The Prism's almost dead. The Prism has the only 2 High Templar in it. He's going to try and land some storms, but he's got to get out of there, and that is absolutely the right call to back away for Hero. He cannot stand and fight, but look at the way Clem handles this. Coming in from 3 directions. Libs, Vikings. He's focused firing everything he can. Widowmine on that high ground, even locked on for a second there. Stalker's trying to take care of these. The Warp Prism does save the Colossus and gets out of there. Hero with some fantastic micro to stay alive. His +2 armor's just kicked in, guys. It's 3-3 against 2-2. Double upgrade advantage for Clem. And with +3 attack coming in, Hero is closing the upgrade advantage. He's back up to 81 workers. He's still building 5 workers at a time and taking a forward base on the left side. Clem's going to fly in and go, what the hell is going on this side of the map? I've been way too focused on that bottom right side of the map. Dude, if Hero brings this back, this will be absolute madness. If Hero brings this back, it will be crazy. It is 7,500 resources in favor of Clem. If he could get rid of this bottom right base, this would be a big swing in terms of his map control and momentum. Even though he'd still be behind, he'd get something back. Stalker's blinking forward, tanks go down. Ghost Liberator, though, is a problem. Planetary comes up. Getting a few tanks on the Lib is nice, but he wasn't able to do the real damage. Libs on that left side being a nuisance as well. Where are those Stalkers? Didn't he have Stalkers up there, guys? Thought he did. Stalkers are getting jumped on. The EMP's all over. Libs pre-sieging on top of the fight. That is huge. Disruptor comes out, but it's in range of the Libs. Throws a shot from the side. Doesn't hit anything. Beautiful engage for Clem. Does cop a few storms to the face. He's got to back away, but with such a forward siege position, it's up to him where and when the fighting happens. And he says, right here, right now, this is where the fighting happens. Lib siege the right, army goes left. High Templar comes forward, lands a nice stormy storm. Battery trying to keep that High Templar alive. There's just not enough meat and potatoes to back this up. Stalkers try to come forward, but they once again derp out. I thought the Stalkers could reach that. Apparently they can't. Liberators sieging his army, and as I said, the advantage of the range Libs, the massive economy now with 7 orbitals. What are you going to do? What are you going to do against this Hero? You were just too far behind from early on. Those Hellions getting in the main was a problem. And I think this reminds us, once again, why you have to wall off the front of your base if you want to take the gold on this map against Terran, because they will go for very quick reacted Hellions. Remember, Clem opened double gas this game. It got him a very fast factory. Hero didn't scout at all, and I think Hero was just assuming that Clem was going to 1-rax expand, which is where he fell short. Colossus, nice micro for Hero. He will never give up. He'll always go down fighting. But he is, of course, in a disastrous position. This is the early game Raven. The early game Raven just came back in to drop auto turrets on a base. Clem's ability to preserve his units, to multitask and to not spam F2 is truly next level. And he is now, once again, not dropping a single map to Hero. Clem looking utterly unstoppable. GG, well played. Team Liquid take out Weibo, and they go on to face Basilisk in the next round.